In this video of the module, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the conversion paths report, which is one of the reports part of the advertising workspace in GA4. Now, this is a very interesting report because it visually lays out all of the different user journeys that your users are using to convert, i.e. what are the marketing channels or the traffic that they're driving up to that point of conversion. So let's open up this report. To do so, we'll open up the advertising workspace and then we navigate to Attribution and then Attribution Paths. This takes us into a type of detail report where we can see the visualization at the top of the screen and then we've got our data table underneath. But before we have a look at any data, let's just double check to make sure we're looking at the specific key events that we want to focus on. I'm looking at an e-commerce website right now, so I'm going to focus on the purchase event. Scrolling down to that data table and expanding beyond just the top 10 rows, we can see all of the weird and wonderful user journeys that have been color-coded of how many marketing channels the customers interacted with before converting. If there's a number of different sessions from the same marketing channel from the user, they cluster them together, for example here, and we can see all of the different marketing channels that the users used. We go from left to right with the right-hand most session, the one where they converted in. Looking at the metrics we have the key events column, which is the number of times this conversion has happened with this specific user journey. And then we have the revenue column. So if you're tracking revenue, we can work out things like average order value from these two. Then we have days to key event and touch points to key event. Days to key event is a very interesting metric because it shows us the time lag between their first session and their conversion event. Their first session is day 0 and it counts up from there. Touch points to key event gives us the number of touch points they had with your brand before they converted. Now, what we've been looking at is these user journeys and we're understanding the marketing mix or the sequence of channels that a user used to convert. What we have also been seeing throughout is a percentage, and this is the attribution model at work. And this is understanding the allocation of value to each individual marketing channel within specific user journey. So scrolling to the top of the report, I can see a drop down there where I can change the attribution model. The default attribution model used is data driven, but for example, let's change that to last click and see what happens. Changing this to last click, we can scroll down, we can see that it's changed the data visualization as well as the data table underneath, where the percentages are reflective, just showing the value being associated to the last touch point used. Something to note here though is that the available attribution models are paid and organic channels only. What that means is that excludes direct wherever possible, and that's why we only see the direct marketing channel on its own as a single line in this report. Looking at the chart at the top of the report now, this does a really good job of aggregating all of this detail into 3 simple charts. So what it's doing is it's categorizing all of the traffic into 3 sections: early, mid, and late. The way that that's defined is the first 25% of all of the sessions are defined as early, the last 25% from a user journey is late, and everything in the middle, so that 50% in the middle, is defined as a mid touch point. Now, if you have 3 or more touch points in your user journey, that works out quite well, and you'll always have a early, mid, and late touch point to attribute to. However, if you've only got 2 touch points in a user journey, then that will go to the early and late touch point camp, and there'll be no mid touch point. And if there's only 1 touch point in a user journey, that all goes to the late touch point, so there'll be no early or mid touch points there. If you're unsure, you can always use the tooltips by hovering over the chart header. Hovering over one of the marketing channels in any of these 3 charts gives us a view of the performance or the attribution of that marketing channel across these 3 different zones. So whether it's early, mid, or late. So for example, if we look at the organic search channel, we can see how the value of organic search is broken at what point of the user journey. So quite interestingly, it's nice to see that out of all of the value that organic search drives, the majority of the value is during mid touch points. We can do that for any channel in the chart, and we can also change the attribution model at the top of the page as well. So changing the attribution model changes this chart and updates accordingly. So that's it for the conversion paths report. I hope you found that useful and can get some valuable insight off the back of it. That's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.